Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am an hour late trying to do my first live show that I have done to date. I told everybody 8:30, so I'm an hour short. Trying to see if I can set camera angles up. All right. I'll wait about 5 minutes and see. Anybody joins. uh, uh, got to about 260 subscribers. I know it's late on the East Coast. It's 10:30. Not the best time to be doing a live show. I don't have time this weekend probably to do it during the daytime, which is probably best because right now don't seem like anybody is joining me. So if nobody joins, this technically does not count as show number one. I'm gonna wait 10 minutes. 10 minutes, and we'll see what happens. An hour late for my own show. People probably would have been there for the 8:30 show. I show up at 9:30, an hour late, talking to myself. That's what I get. So I'm gonna wait 10 minutes. And if I at least get 10 people on here, then I think we can start rolling. One of the two people is me on the other cell phone, so I can see the chats. So if it doesn't work, then this will technically not be show number one. Who just jumped in and jumped out? Who was that? 10 people, guys. 10 people. 10 people. The person that just joined, stay. If we get at least 10 people in here, we can have a short live show. I'm gonna wait like 10, 15 minutes. I'm an hour late for my own, my own deal. So patience, please. All right, two more people jumped in. If y'all can, get some other people to jump in also. If we get at least to 10, I think we could do a short live show. Just address a few things. I didn't know I could go live until recently. And I'm an hour late to my own show. So, oh, that is what it is. Just be patient. I'm going to try to get some people. to to join us. I don't know. this this is funny. If I wait just a little while, out of the almost 300 that are subscribed, should. Hey, Mr. Matt, stay put. I'm an hour late. An hour late to my own show. I told everybody 8:30. Work ran over again. So 3. Let's get just a few more people. We'll have a small live show. Tommy G. Thanks for joining in. I would like it to get to 10 people. And then it won't be long. I know it's late. I was supposed to start at 8:30 for my first live show. But better late than never. If we just get 3 or 4 more people jump in as they're scanning YouTube, I'm sure they'll check it out. Tommy G and Matt, stay chill. Yeah, it's my Tourette's. It manifests itself sometimes when I'm talking business with customers. It doesn't do it all the time, but this is where I thrive. This is my field. I've been watching this team since '94. You want me to entertain you with a little quick fun fact? First game I saw was Super Bowl 28, right? And my first Super Bowl that I was watching. My dad was going for Buffalo, and for some reason, I fell in love with the star that night. We're losing 13-6 at halftime. I said one of my first prayers. We come back in the second half strong, win 30-13, and I thought my prayer was the reason why we won. So I kind of make the joke that the Cowboys led me to Christ. And from '94 on, I've seen every game, every season. 1994, we go 12-4. And we lose NFC Championship game against San Fran. Appreciate that. My wife got those for me for Christmas. In 95, we signed Prime, go 12-4, win the Super Bowl. We won because we didn't have to play San Fran in the playoffs that year. They whooped us in the regular season during that year with a backup quarterback. 96, we make the playoffs, beat Minnesota in the first round, go to Carolina, and lose. First time I saw us lose in the playoffs. I couldn't believe it. I was 10 then. In 97, we go 6-10, losing season. 98, we pass up Randy Moss. We get Greg Ellis, who was serviceable. We go 10-6, and lose in the first round against Arizona, 20-7. In 1999, we start off 3-0. Has Super Bowl aspirations. Michael Irvin goes down in week 4 against 0-3 Eagles. Breaks his neck. It was horrible. We had Michael Irvin, Marcus Ishmael. Great combo, big physical receiver, small, speedy guy. If Michael Irvin doesn't go down and break his neck in that game, week 4, we have a good shot that year. But we finish 8-8, lose against Minnesota in the first round. And then 2000, 2001, 2002, 5-11, 3 straight years on the Campo. And then 03, old Big Bill comes in. We lose week 1 against Atlanta, and then we go 5 straight. We're 5-1. Cowboy Nation's going nuts. And then Bill knew we weren't as good as our record was, so he was downplaying everything. And we finished 10-6. But my favorite thing about that season is we beat Philly in the first game. They tried that onside kick to start the game. Bill Parcells was privy to it. Randall Williams caught the onside kick, returned for a touchdown. Quickest touchdown in NFL history, 3 seconds. So with 14:57 to go in the first quarter, we're up 7-0. We finished 10-6 that year. Lose against Carolina. We go into 2004, think it will be better. Quincy Carter gets busted for drugs, so we got Vinny Testaverde at quarterback. When we go 6-10, we get Drew Bledsoe in 2005. Man, we got a veteran quarterback like Aikman. Week 1, it's a shootout against the Chargers. 31-28. We win the game. Last minute interception by Aaron Glenn. We finished 9-7, missed the playoffs. 06, Drew Bledsoe. Looks like Dak did last year. Interception City. Monday Night Football at halftime. Parcells puts in Romo. And that's when the Romo era begins. We finished 9-7 that year. Lose against Seattle. The famous bot snap. Following season, we're balling out. 13-3. We sweep the Giants easy. And then the Giants, they go to Tampa, beat Tampa. Come to our stadium. We had a whiteout. We declared a whiteout. And they drop us. I couldn't believe it. And then they go to Green Bay, in Green Bay, win in double overtime. And then beat the undefeated Patriots. That was I would say, the most impressive playoff run I've ever seen a team do was the 07 Giants. Then 2008, we signed Zach Thomas, Pac-Man Jones, trying to make a super team, Super Bowl aspirations. We don't even make the playoffs. We go 8-8 after a 3-0 start. 2009, Miles Austin emerges as a number 1 receiver out of nowhere. Finish 11-5. Wax Eagles in the first round. Go to Minnesota and get waxed 34-3 at the Metrodome by Brett Favre and company. 2010, Romo's injured most of the year. Kyle Orton is in and out of the lineup. Wade Phillips gets fired. Garrett takes over. We finish 7-9. And then another 3 straight seasons of 8-8. And then 2014, our Super Bowl year, 12-4. We beat Seattle during that season, but Seattle and Green Bay and us all had a 12-4 record. We beat Seattle head-to-head, but didn't play Green Bay. So since we had the worst conference record, we had the wild card round. We beat Detroit, go to Green Bay. Dez catches it, but don't catch it. But they say he doesn't, so we get screwed out of that. 2015, Romo breaks his collarbone. We finished 4-12, which gave us a gift of Zeke Elliott and Dak Prescott, as y'all know that year very, very well. I'm pretty sure 13-3. Lose against our daddy again in the playoffs. in the second round. 2017 finished 9-7 because Zeke was suspended 6 games. Missed the playoffs. 2018 3-5. Get Cooper finished the season 7-1. Beat Seattle 24-22, and then lose to the Rams. 2019 Super Bowl aspirations. Dak Prescott carves up 3 bad teams to begin the season, and he starts to think that he's Aaron Rodgers. We finished 8-8, missed playoffs. 2020 he breaks his leg. Y'all know what happened there. In the last 2 seasons, and I can go into any season from '94 on and give you detailed information about that season. I've got a Rolodex in my head that would make some people trip out. I know it's late. Hey, Tommy G, what time zone are you in right now? I know Matt's in my time zone, Central. Are you Eastern, Tommy G? Eastern, Pacific, Mountain Standard Time, or Central? What are you? Eastern time zone. So right now it's going on 11 o'clock where you're at. So I guess my next live show, this I guess technically counts. We'll call this my dress rehearsal live show. Let's just call it that. I got my 2 besties in here, Matt and Tommy. Sugar Daddy Williams watches all the videos too, but he's probably knocked out. So yeah, thanks for being here for my trial run. What would y'all like to address? Because I guarantee y'all, Elliott will be a Cowboy after June 1st. We'll bring Zeke back. No one's going to pay him big money. He's made, if you didn't know that, Elliott is the second highest paid running back in NFL history. He's made over 70 million. So he's made his money. Money really shouldn't matter to him now. After June 1st is whenever the cut is official and that cap room is clear. I don't see why. I'm pretty sure after June 1st he'll come over and sign a 1-year, $2 million deal. And we'll draft a running back. Even if we draft Bijan in the first round, I still think we'll bring Zeke back. Just for depth purposes. And Zeke can teach Bijan a whole lot. Robinson. Who are you talking about, Robinson? In the draft or free agency? Because I can see your chat on my. Oh, you're talking about Bijan Robinson. Duh. It's possible he could fall to pick 26. CeeDee Lamb fell to pick 17, and he's supposed to be the top receiver taken. And they say that in the draft, running backs don't go in the first round, especially the bad teams. Only the good teams, and that's teams that need a running back. Good teams that need a running back. So, I say Buffalo, maybe. Not Cincinnati, because, they got their back. Minnesota has their back, and Dalvin Cook. Detroit has their back. Philly has their backs. I don't think they'll invest in a Bijan Robinson. I think they have other areas they'd like to address, like linebacker. I know they got Edmonds and that the other cat at safety from Detroit. Terrell Edmonds is pretty good, but Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was like Trayvon Diggs last year at safety. He was a ball hawk, and Marcus Epps is solid, strong safety. So they got 2 safeties to replace them, but they're not as good. And they lost T.J. Edwards and Toppy, their leading tackler last year. Their best linebacker, and Kazir White, their second best linebacker. They didn't trust Nakobe Dean to play. And he had all this hype coming out of Georgia. I kept telling people, we got the better steal in Damone Clark in round 5. They were both injured. That's why they both slid. Damone Clark did more with less. Nakobe Dean played on a Georgia defense that was full of first-round draft picks. If Philly takes Bijan, I really don't think it'd be no different than them having Miles Sanders. They re-signed Boston Scott. They have Chris Carson, but their pick, their pick 30. So Bijan would have to come through us before it gets to them. Well, actually, no. Wait, they got a pick early. They got two first. They have a top 10 pick, and then they have So, but if they use their top 10 pick on Bijan Robinson, I'd be very very surprised. Very surprised. I believe they go linebacker or defensive line with their top 10 pick, being that they have no linebackers. They better hope Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis are worth the hype that, they were built up. Who do y'all want to take with the first pick? I would love to take Bijan or this cat they're talking about from TCU, Steve Avila, something like that. Tom Downey's saying he's a true left guard, plug and play, possibly could fall in the second round. And Terrence Steele, I know what Jerry Jones said, that he'd be a great depth piece, but Terrence Steele will be the starting right tackle this season. The offensive line coach is going to watch tape and see that he's the next Eric Williams. He's going to be a starting right tackle. If anybody's going to be the swing, going to be Tyron Smith or Matt Willetsko if they put Tyler at left guard. We'll see, but Steele will be at right tackle for sure. We better hope our young players step it up. Tommy, our rookies last year that shined, how many of them were there? We had Tyler, who just wrecked at left tackle. We had Sam Williams, who just wrecked off the edge. We had Ferguson and Hendershot at tight end, who played great. We saw Jake Ferguson hurdle a guy. For a tight end to do that is pretty amazing. Deron Bland became just a stud slot corner. Devin Harper got injured, so we didn't get to see him. Damone Clark. So those rookies last year, this year, I expect to see them be a step up. Especially Damone Clark. Like I said, he did more or less at LSU, and he wore number 18. They don't give that number to just anybody. Nakobe Dean had defensive line, all first-round picks. The two linebackers on the side of them, first-round picks. Only first-round pick on Damone Clark's defense was Darryl Stingley to Houston at pick 3. So Damone Clark was a way bigger steal than Nakobe Dean. They didn't trust him to take the field last year. That's a red flag. And he was healthy. They were both healthy about the same time. Khalid Muhammad, thank you for joining us. My first live show. Pretty much my dress rehearsal here. I didn't know I could go live. I thought I had to be at 1,000 subscribers to do that. And it's late. I told everybody I'd be doing it at 8:30 Central Time. I'm doing this big interior right now. Got home, fed the kids, and was an hour late to my own party. But it's all good. Oh, Tommy, we're going to beat the Eagles, dog. Tommy, check this out. We were a draft and develop team last year, right? A draft and develop team. Philly signed everybody in the country to essentially make them an all-star team. And we were competitive with them in both games. With Cooper Rush at quarterback, they went up early. Yeah, they went up early. But it was 17-20 in the fourth quarter. All we needed was one defensive stop. And I believe Cooper Rush takes the lead if that happens. And then in game 2, Hurts wasn't playing. We have Gallup on one leg. T.Y. Hilton's first game playing. Only receiver he's got, CeeDee Lamb. I know Dak stunk it up at times last season, but he dropped 40 burger on that defense with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Marcus Epps, T.J. Edwards, and Javon Hargrave. We're going to sweep Philly. We're going to sweep the East. Dak owns the East. If he owns anybody, it's the East. Aaron Rodgers owns him. He owns the East. He finally got the Tom Brady monkey off his back. But you know what's funny also is Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets. We played the AFC East this year, so we'll be seeing Aaron Rodgers in the in the postseason. I mean, in the regular season. So that'll be his chance to get revenge. See, you can see what we beat the Eagles because players get playing time don't mean you better. All I'm saying, Eagles offense is scary. Yeah, the Eagles offense is potent. If they get Bijan Robinson, yeah, they'll be better. But do you think in their first round pick that they're going to take Bijan when they have other pressing needs? I don't. They have Boston Scott, Chris Carson, and the draft is full of running backs, full of them. We could get a good back in round 2 or round 3. Bijan wasn't the leading rusher last year. There was a back that got 17 plus, like a little bit under 1,800 yards. Forgot what his name is, but it's full of good backs. I think Zeke comes back on a 1 year, $2 million minimum deal because that's all he's going to get anywhere else. And we also drafted back. It might be Bijan. At pick 26, we're going to go BPA, which I would like to get that left guard because that essentially rebuilds the offensive line. You got Tyler Smith at 22 years old, Terrence Steele at 25, Biadash, who is a serviceable center at 25, and then whoever we get at rookie at left guard will be in his early 20s. The offensive line is practically rebuilt. And if it's that kid from TCU or Cyrus Torrance or John Smith, Zach Martin's the only old guy on the line, and he's 32. He's still got a good 5 years of dominant play left in him. Just like Jason Kelsey, still killing it at center at his age. Yeah, Pollard the scat back. There's a lot of big backs in the draft. Rojo will not make the team. I don't even know why we signed him. He got guaranteed like it was really really small. It was 5 figures. His guaranteed money. Ronald Jones had 17 yards last season. 17 yards for Kansas City. We'll get that big back, even if it's Zeke. That's fine. Tony Pollard, call me crazy, man, but I think he's got Marshall Faulk potential. You know, Marshall Faulk had 1,000 yard and 1,000. He in 2001 had 1,000 yards receiving and rushing because he was a receiving back and could run the ball well. I think Pollard has similar potential. Pollard had over 1,000 yards rushing last season, and I forgot how many receiving yards he had. But if used properly, I think he could be 1,000 on each side. And only a handful of backs have done that. I know Falk did it, and hell, I can't think of the other guy that did it, but him and a power back and Zeke as a three-headed monster in the backfield would be perfect, I think. Oh yeah, the division's tough. You want it to be tough. In the 90s, the division was tough. Philly had that fearsome front four with Reggie White and company. The Giants were no joke. Washington just came off a Super Bowl. The Giants just came off a Super Bowl before we took our back-to-back. We all basically ran a train on Buffalo. You know, iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel, like law always says. If our division is good and tough, that's better for us because that sharpens our team by beating them. We swept the Giants last season. First game, they were 2-0. We were 1-1. We had Cooper Rush, no Gallup, Tyler Smith in his third game overall. We went down by 7 late in the third quarter, and then Cooper Rush engineers back-to-back touchdown drives. We're down 13-6, and we go up 20-13. He goes 11 of 12 in those two drives. We want our division to be good, because, like I was saying, in the early 90s, it was a dogfight to win the division. In 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. In 95, it was easy. But in 91, 92, 93, and 94, 1, 2, 3, 4, those 4 seasons, the division was a dogfight. And that's why to win the division in 93, we had to beat the Giants, and Emmett had to play with that separated shoulder in the whole fourth quarter. I don't know if y'all remember that game, but he's really well known for that game. Separated shoulder. He played the whole fourth quarter with it. And in his book, he writes about that game. That game was so gutsy that John Madden came down from the booth onto the field to shake his hand and say that he's never seen a performance like that. They kept feeding him the rock in the fourth quarter. On the first run, he gets 11 yards, runs out of bounds, untouched. He's like, maybe I can get through this fourth quarter like this. And he's like, no, fool, you playing the Giants defense. I'm going to get hit. And his teammates, the old linemen, say whenever he was coming back to the huddle, he had tears in his eyes from the pain that he was taking playing with that separated shoulder to beat the Giants to win the division that year. The division was tough in the early 90s. It's tough now, and we want it to be tough. Like the law says, iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. If you get the easy road to the playoffs, you're not battle-tested. We want to be battle-tested. Unless Washington gets Lamar Jackson, they'll probably be the easy team to beat in the East. The Giants will put up a bit bigger fight this year than last year. Eagles will still be good. The Eagles will not be as good as they were last season. Know this. They will not be as good as they were last year. But they will still be damn tough. We did split games with them as a draft and develop team, and they were an all-star team. They lost a lot of the guys that they've signed last year. They've tried to stop the bleeding the best they can, and we're not done building up. Man, Gilmore and Diggs and Bland, that cornerback trio, is just as good as Slay, Bradbury, and Maddox. Nelson Quintella. Hey, what's up, Nelson? Hey, Nelson, from Bible study, right? Is that you? I don't know your last name by heart. If that's you, Nelson and I go to the same church, Second Baptist here in Houston. I need to start reading these chats here. Dwayne McBride. This is cool. I'm doing a live show. Yeah, Tommy, it was different back then. It was 5 teams in the division. Arizona was one of them. Arizona was the one team that was a sweep every year. They weren't that good. But the Eagles, Washington, and the Giants all were tough. Every game, twice a year during the early 90s, except for the 95 season. We opened up the 95 season Monday night at at MetLife Stadium playing the Giants, and we beat them 35-0. First play of the game was a run to Emmitt Smith for an 80-yard touchdown. So in 95, the division wasn't too tough, but years before that, it was. I think that benefited us more than it hurt us. We can all agree Dak blew the San Fran game last year. We were up and get Robinson. Yeah, Dak shit the bed at San Fran. Those 2 interceptions were in the worst spot of the field possible. I'd rather him throw those 2 picks at the 50. The first one was in our own territory. Our defense goes out, gets a 3 and out, gives him three. Dak basically gave him 3 points, unless the kicker misses a kick. And then right before halftime, we're inside the freaking red zone. 2nd and 2, Pollard just broke his leg. I get that. We go 5 wide at the 18, 2nd and 2. For some reason, Dak does not want to run. He steps back to pass. Nobody's open. But he's got. If you look at the replay from the back judge's point of view, he's got about a 5 yard gap that he could just run straight up the middle and probably gain 10, 11 yards to get to like the 8 or 7 yard line. But instead of running and doing that, he wants to try to act, show that he's a prolific passer, and he tries to thread it in between a safety and linebacker to CeeDee Lamb. I don't understand it. It was 2nd and 2. Use your legs, Dak, like you did against Tampa Bay. Use it. Get them 2 yards. At least get the 2 yards and live to see another set of downs. And if the pass isn't there, throw it away. He's become a legend in his own mind that he can make these throws that he really can't. He's a great game manager, top-notch bus driver. But he's not a guy that can throw you to victory on a game-to-game basis. He can have his games like he did against Philly, but don't expect him to do that back-to-back weeks. Because the next game against Tennessee, he looked like shit. Especially against Washington. He looked like, I don't want to talk about that game. Yeah, Tommy. Only difference between Dak and Hurts is that Hurts runs. Hurts is not afraid to live to see another set of downs. If it's 3rd and 7 and nobody's open, he doesn't sit there for another 5 seconds to try to find that open guy or make that big throw. Nah, he'll take off and make sure he gets past the line to gain so the chains will move. Dak in Mississippi State ran the ball all the time. I don't know why at this level he refuses to do that. I don't understand it. It's almost like he refuses to do it. Plenty of time they play man coverage. Everybody's back is to him. Nobody's open, and he can go get 15 or 20. He's not slow. But he'll stay in the pocket and take a sack or try to make a throw that's not there. Drives me fucking nuts. Nelson. If you come back on, Nelson, let me know if that's you from Bible study. I got that box too. What kind of box y'all talking about? Oh yeah, it was Dwayne McBride that has 1,750 yards. I think that's the guy I'm talking about that had more than Bijan. Shoot, man, if he's around in the 3rd or 4th round, yeah, you take him. I don't care, college or not. If you get over 1,700 yards on the ground, pushover. That's for sure. And Elliott brings a lot to this team. People. Oh, I get pissed when I hear them talk about. Oh, I'm getting tired of seeing Elliott's fat ass lay down on the field. Man, shit, if you don't know what you're talking about, please don't talk. In the first 13 games, he missed 2. First 15 weeks of the season, he averaged 4.2 yards a carry. Had 10 touchdowns on the ground. It's not bad. And he kept Dak upright. Kept him from getting blown up. In 2014, DeMarco Murray, same type back. He could protect Dak really well. We let him walk. We have 2 scat backs going into 2015. Week 2, we're playing the Eagles. We're beating them. Jordan Hicks comes on a blitz. One of the scat backs can't pick up the blitz. Jordan Hicks nails Romo, breaks his collarbone, season's over. Because we didn't have a back that could protect him in shotgun. So Elliott brings a lot to this team. And I know the last few games of the season he ran to a brick wall. Terrence still got hurt. The offensive line was not moving the defensive line like it was earlier in the year. earlier in the season, him and Pollard were both eating. He just 1 year, $2 million deal. He'll be back. Put that in concrete, I guarantee you. Why would he take $2 million to go play somewhere else when he can come back home and have a legitimate shot at getting a ring? All his friends are here. Him and Dak are like this, just like Romo, Witten were, just like Irvin and Smith were. BFFs. Remember, defense got several turnovers against Philly when Dak went off, but Dak puts huge stats at home. Yeah, Gardner Minshew did give us the ball a few times, but Dak still put up 40 though. He still put up 3rd and 30. T.Y. T.Y. Hilton on big play slay, his first game of the season. 3rd and 30. Throw it deep to T.Y. That was dope, man. After he made that catch, I knew the Cowboys were going to take it. I was worried off the bat when Josh Sweat just took it out of the air and took it back. I was like, man, Dak, really, dude? You done gave the Jaguars game away on a pick six. You opened this game up with a pick six. But then, the day after that, on Law's live show, he wanted everybody to give Dak his flowers. I wasn't ready to yet because I was like, okay, he did good. Let's see him do that against Tennessee. And he looked like a completely different quarterback at Tennessee. So, Tommy, Matt, think about a player who wants a ring when not the same since Jimmy left. I have hatred. Yeah, it's kind of messed up that Jerry hasn't put Jimmy in the Ring of Honor. Tom Landry is there, right? Tom Landry won 2 Super Bowls. He's in the Ring of Honor. Jimmy Johnson won 2 Super Bowls. If Jerry's ego wasn't so freaking big, like they say, we could have won 4 or 5 in a row. But that's ancient history. I want to start our own dynasty now. Our team's young enough, good enough. I think we could do it. Well, this was a fun little trial run. Tommy, I appreciate you being here. Matt, Nelson, Khalid Muhammad, and everybody else who popped in to say hi. My next live show will be during the daytime when people are awake, not asleep. But hey, it was cool. Tommy, I appreciate you being here, my man. The reason why I'm saying is he wants the Super Bowl. Why come back? I think the NFC is pretty wide open, Tommy. If Zeke wants to play for a contender, we are as good a contender as anybody. Getting Gilmore, we just re-signed Hankins today. Getting Gilmore to play opposite Diggs. Some people think Gilmore's better than Diggs right now at this point. He might be. Getting Brandon Cooks gives us that receiver that we haven't had in years. That speed guy to go along with a big physical guy like Lamb, who can also take the top off of defense. And Michael Gallup should be the Gallup that we know this season. For a receiver, it usually takes that second season off the tear to get back to normal. Towards the last part of the season, we saw MG13 start looking like himself. He started making plays he wasn't making earlier in the season. Yeah, Hankins isn't a world beater, but he's the best run stopper we have. When we got him after the trade deadline, our defense got better at stopping the run. And in the playoffs against the Niners, Christian McCaffrey had, 35 yards on the ground. Debo had like 17. Elijah Mitchell had like 45. He made a difference. But we just got to get one more run stuffing type DT, 1 or 2, so they can be in a rotation with him, because Hankins isn't, a 3-down guy. So they can be in a rotation with them, and we can have good run stoppers in that middle. Ever Jay Ratliff, David Irving could have been the next Jay Ratliff if he wasn't an idiot. If you have a chance to play in the NFL and you're good, all you gotta do is just not smoke weed and ball out, and you're gonna get paid the big bucks. Why not do it? What's David Irving doing now? I don't understand some people. It's just like Kelvin Joseph. You're a second round pick to a team that's ascending, and you're so worried about your rap career that your first season you don't play, and the off season going into your second season you're hanging out with these gangsters. You cap somebody, kill somebody. You're lucky you're not in freaking jail. He was Jane Slater verbatim said if he was as worried about being a cornerback as he was being a rapper, he might actually be something. You made it to the NFL, dude. Millions of kids dream of it. It's like a 1 in a million chance. And you want to focus on being in the studio? Let him go be in the studio. I don't think he makes a roster this year. I trade him for a 7th round 2025 pick. I sure would. That's just me. Jabril Cox get his opportunity this year. Anthony Barr is not going to be re-signed, so yeah, we'll be seeing Cox. And Hankins signed for 1.5 million because he wants to win too. Same reason why Fowler signed for so cheap. He got 6 sacks last year. Gregory, that was top out. He had 2 seasons with us with 6 sacks, and he got the bag as a pass rushing specialist. Fowler re-upped 1-year deal with a very, very low salary. Hankins wants to get a ring before he gets out of here. So does Fowler. Calais Campbell is probably going to sign with Atlanta. If he wants to win, he's 37. Why is he going to sign with the Falcons? That doesn't make any sense to me. If you wanted to go to a contender, come here. Yeah, that's why it took him a while to sign. To re-sign with us. Hankins, that is. But I think he's a better run stopper than Gallimore is, than Bohanna is, and OC. OC is more of a pass rushing 3 tech. Carlos Watkins does a good job. We've been getting him for a steal lately. He's been signing 1 year, $900,000 deals. That's what he was last year. Yeah. Cox signed the same type deal last season for 1 year, and he's coming back for 1 year. Same type of deal. He's getting older too. He's getting pretty long in too. That's why I said Jordan Davis better be what they hoped he was, because Hargrave is gone, and that guy was a damn monster. And he had to go to San Fran of all places. He had to go to San Fran. That defensive line has Javon Hargrave, Javon Kinlaw, Solomon Thomas, and Nick Bosa. They can rush 4 guys, get pressure, and drop 7. That defense is gonna be even better this year, as is ours. It's gonna be us and San Fran 1 and 2. I don't think the Eagles' defense will be as good as it was last year, and they damn sure ain't gonna get 70-something sacks. Yeah, very sick. I still gotta eat dinner and hit the sack. Gotta finish this interior I'm doing tomorrow, man. I appreciate you, Tommy. Really do. Appreciate you, Matt. Nelson, Muhammad, everybody who stopped in to say hi. This is pretty much my dress rehearsal live show. The next one I do will be during the daytime, probably Saturday. I don't think I have much going on Saturday, so I'll let y'all know, and hopefully we'll have a decent crowd. But Tommy, salute to you, man. Good night, Matt. Salute to you. Anybody else that's here, salute to you. You have a good night, guys. I'll get you on the flip side. Our D line is good, bro, but not great. Yeah, Tommy, our D line's good, but it's not San Fran good. San Fran's is great. But our secondaries have a lot better than San Francisco's. They got a better front seven, we got a better back end. So we'll see what happens. But I'm pretty confident this season. We made moves this off season that we usually don't. So we'll see what else we do. All right, guys, I'm gonna eat my dinner and then I'm gonna lay my weary head down because I am tired and famished. If y'all ain't subscribed, I'm pretty sure y'all are. Please subscribe. Yeah, Eagles have a better defensive line. Hassan Reddick, 17 and a half sacks last year. Josh Sweat is still good. Fletcher Cox is still good. But if Jordan Davis doesn't live up to the billing after losing Hargrave, and we add a good tackle, I'm not so sure that their line is better than ours come September. That's yet to be determined, just in my opinion. Hargrave really made that line what it was last year in the middle. He was a freaking monster. Has been the last 3 seasons. All right, guys. I'm going to go for real this time. I want to keep talking because I talk Cowboys all night. I'm sure you could too, Tommy. It's shit, man. It's going on 11:30 your time. But appreciate y'all for being here. I got sleep deprivation. I'll see y'all soon, guys. DC for life. And Saturday, let's do this Saturday, around midday. All right. I'll see you later, Tommy. Chunk the deuce, and then once you do that, I'll hit the X button. Tommy G. Chunk that deuce sign. Chunk the deuce. Man, I'm going on 53 minutes. Time flies when you do a live show. Interesting. Well, I'm pretty sure you chunk the deuce. Wherever you at. I'll see you today's Wednesday. Yeah. Friday or Saturday be a better day. During the daytime. I'll catch y'all guys later, man. Thanks everybody. I'll see y'all next time. Hey, and by the way, this channel in time will be big and be the next big thing. I'm gonna guarantee you that too. I'm gonna bring the heat and the fire. I should have started this a long time ago, but I'm not really tech savvy. So one baby step at a time. I'll catch y'all guys later. All right, guys. You have a good night.